Friends, our discourse continues from the Balkand of the Ramcharitamanas tonight, once again. And Lord Shiva continues to speak to Parvati Devi. Whenever, you see, before we go into the invocation, there are 4 kathas going on simultaneously in a place called Prayag. And one day you will go to Prayag. One day you'll go to India. And, Pritamji, I bless you, you will go. And one day you will go to that place called Prayag. And in that place, it has 4 kathas going on simultaneously between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. Tulsidas ji is speaking to the saints and sages. Yagyavalk is speaking to Bharadwaj. And Tulsidas ji is also speaking to his devotees. So 4 different katha being interpreted by 4 different interpreters. Lord Shiva speaking, Yagyavalk ji Maharaj speaking, Tulsidas ji speaking, and is the other one? Kak Bhushundi ji is speaking to Garur Maharaj. 4 different kathas going on. And so, my friends, 4 different topics are being discussed by the 4 different teachers of the Ramcharitamanas. 4 different topics. Lord Shiva, whenever you listen to the Ram Katha and Lord Shiva is speaking on the topic of Gyan. He is speaking on the topic of knowledge. The knowledge that brings what you call liberation to the Atma, the soul. He describes what you call the nature of the Atma, the soul. And he also links this to the incarnation of Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra ji. And last night we saw where, as we recap a little bit, where he spoke of Sri Ram as Sachidananda Surupa, Surya hai. You all remember that? Sachidananda Surupa, Surya hai. He is of the nature of Sat, Chit and Ananda, truth, consciousness and bliss, and he is the sun of the universe, that is the sun of the universe, the light that removes the dispels the darkness of however dark the night might be. My friends, we quoted a beautiful bhajan, Bharosa kar to Ishwar par. Always have faith in the sun that it will remove darkness. Always have faith in the sun that once the sun shines, darkness will be removed. Brothers and sisters, always have faith that once knowledge dawns, ignorance and delusion will disappear. And once ignorance and delusion disappears, brothers and sisters, our true nature, our true identity, our true being will manifest. We will not be clouded by the cloud of delusion and illusions. We will not be, my dear brothers and sisters, covered by the veil of Maya or the veil of the cloud that covers the beautiful sky. Just like the cloud covers the sky, in the same way Maya covers the right thinking of the mind and we become clouded. Like, you know, Brother Krishna and myself, we were talking last night, and you know what is the meaning of evil? What's the meaning of evil? Huh? Bar? What's the meaning of evil? I'm going to say it in slow motion, because only when you say it in slow motion, then you will get the meaning of it. Evil. Evil. Veil. When there is a veil, you see, there is galvanized above this. But I can't see it. You can see it where you are, but I can't see it. There is a beautiful chandani that is placed above here, preventing me from seeing what you call the galvanized. And you can tell me, but Baba, the galvanized is blue, or the galvanized is gray, or the galvanized is red. And I will tell you, no, it's not, because I am seeing yellow and I am seeing orange. Where you are, you can see it. Where I am, I can't see it. In the same way, my friends, in the same way, when the Mahatmas and the yogis and the great saints and sages, when they get knowledge of their true identity, the God within, they can see it and feel it and experience Him. And we can't see it, and therefore we will doubt Him and have what you call lost of faith. Friends, Lord Shiva continues to speak tonight about the greatness of what Sri Ram represents. But before we do this, we invite you now to sit back and relax. Close your eyes in a very gentle manner. Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra ji worshipping Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva always contemplates upon Sri Ram. And Tulsidas ji invokes the presence of Lord Ganesh and Mother Saraswati to remove the obstacles from the pathways of our lives. We pray that, O Mahadev, Hey Kailaspati Shankar, salutations to you this night, Prabhu. Koti koti pranam karte hain. You are the embodiment of love. You are the embodiment of grace. And just like you came and you manifested and you saved the world by consuming the poison, Prabhu, you drank the poison to save your devotees and your children. Today, in the world that we are living in, poison comes in all different ways. Many people and many families are affected by the poison of lust and anger and greed and jealousy. And so families are broken, institutions are broken, governments are broken, the world becomes broken, people become broken when the poison enters our system. Prabhu, when the poison enters our body, the body dies. When poison enters the mind becomes unhappy. When poison enters the intellect becomes ignorant. And when poison affects the soul is lost. Hey Mahadev, Hey Kailaspati Shankar, may you touch our bodies tonight and heal us. May you touch our mind tonight and bless us with peace and happiness. May you touch our intellect tonight, Prabhu, and bless us with knowledge, and bless us with knowledge, and bless us with knowledge. We ask of you, Prabhu. There is nothing else we want in this world except knowledge. May you bless our soul that we will never be lost in sansar and be covered in Maya, O Bhagwan Shiva. Having described Bhagwan Sri Ram Chandra ji last night, श्री रामचंद्र जी सच्चिदानंद सूर्य हैं, वहां अज्ञान रात्रि का हवलेश भी नहीं है। सदैश्वर युक्त भगवान स्वभाव से ही प्रकाश रूप हैं, वह तो विज्ञान रूपी प्रातः काल भी नहीं होता। Describing Sri Ramchandra ji as Sachidananda Rupa and being the light, friends, with his blessing, there will always be light in our lives. With his grace, there will always be the light of bliss and the light of happiness. Friends, there are two things that we must always consider. Everybody here tonight agree that we all want to be happy? Yes or no? Yes. Where is your happiness? If everybody wants to be happy, where can happiness be found? Now, we will all agree that happiness can be found within us, inside here. That is where we feel happiness. So when we feel happiness inside, we then enjoy that happiness. Now, happiness is caused by something. True or false? True or not? So let us say happiness is caused by this water. So I get this bottle of water and I feel happy. I get this book and I feel happy. I get this harmonium and I feel happy. I get a camera and I feel happy. I got a new phone and I feel happy. My happiness thus far is dependent on the harmonium. When I get the harmonium, then I become happy. When I get the camera, then I become happy. When I get this person to be my friend, then I become happy. When I get something or someone, then I become happy. Is that true or false? True. Right? So when you get what you want, you become happy. And when you don't get what you want, what do you become? If you all just heard what Olive said, She said we become sad, we become real sad, we become upset, we become angry. And that is, what she is talking about here? She is talking about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha. In Bhagavad Gita he says, when you don't get what you want, you become angry. Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha. We become angry. And right there and then, when I don't get what I want or who I want, the result of that is anger and an upset feeling. Friends, once we be very attentive, once we depend on something or someone, or once we depend on our desire to be fulfilled, to get happiness, Pritam, we will never be happy. Do not become a slave of the desires of the mind. Do not become a slave of your own whims and fancies. Don't become a slave of your mind. Friends, we all have a body, we have a mind, and we have an intellect. We have a soul inside of this body. This body, my friends, is driven by the Atma, the soul. What we need to do is experience and go back to the Atma, the soul, and don't allow the Atma, the soul, to fall down into the whims and fancies of the mind. Because if it does, then the Atma becomes Jivatma. The fall of the Atma becomes Jivatma. So Jivatma, my friends, is the one that is experiencing the joy and the sorrow, the gain and the loss, the knowledge and the ignorance, the egoism and the pride. When you do something for somebody and that person do not tell you thank you, how do you feel? Huh? You feel bad? You feel hurt? You feel bad? Anybody else have any other answer? When you do something for somebody and the person don't say thank you, how do you feel? Unappreciated? You know who is feeling unappreciated? You know who is feeling hurt and who is feeling bad? The Jivatma. The individual self, the individual soul, the Jivatma that has fallen from its pure state into Jivatmahood is feeling hurt. Friends, when you do something for somebody and that person is not grateful or is appreciating what you do, just in your mind say, Om Namah Shivaya. Do not feel hurt. Don't, when somebody praises you, don't feel excited. And when somebody insults you, don't feel hurt. Oh, Bhagwan. Is that easy to do? Mama said, I am businessman. Friends, when someone praises you or someone insults you, treat it alike. That is what great people does. I wish we all can reach that state tonight, because Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, listen to what he says, that Sri Ram, who represents the wisdom that is within us, the knowledge, he is Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Harsha Vishada Jnana Ajnana Dharma Aham जाना, परमानंद परेत पुराना। बोलो श्री राम जय रामा, जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय रामा, जय जय रामा। श्री राम जय रामा, जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय रामा, जय जय रामा। हर्ष और शोक, ज्ञान और अज्ञान, अहमता और अभिमान, ये सब बद जीव के धर्म है। Bhagwan Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, he says that harsha, vishad, jnana, ajnana, jiva dharma, aham iti abhimana. He says that all these are the attributes of the Jivatma. Friends, I want you to understand something. There is, listen to the names and the words, right? There is Paramatma. Who is Paramatma? Anybody, please tell. Very good. Paramatma is God. So Paramatma is God. Who is Atma? The Atma is part of Paramatma. So Paramatma is God and God is pure. He is beyond attributes. He is divine. That's Paramatma. The Atma, which is part of Paramatma, is the same exact like Paramatma. But the difference is God, who is always pure and divine, when the time comes in creation, He wants to create the universe, He wants to create the world, He wants to create the beings. So once that desire enters into the mind of Paramatma, from Him, creation comes. And this creation has many names, many forms, many worlds, many lokas, etc. And we of course know many beings, 8.4 million different species of beings. Each being is considered to be an Atma. Each being is considered to be Atma. Now, Paramatma and Atma is there. But when, my friends, the Atma enters into a body like this, and the Atma enters into a body being controlled by a mind, being controlled by an intellect, being controlled by the antakaran within this body, then desires are born. So just like Paramatma had a desire to create the world, then we became Atma, and then Atma enters into the body in a pure state. So your Atma and my Atma are stainless and is pure. Now friends, when the Atma in this body becomes contaminated with the desires, when Atma becomes contaminated with the desires of the mind and the wrong decisions of the intellect, then we are clouded by ignorance. And when we are clouded by ignorance, then the Atma becomes Jivatma. So you see, we are constantly falling from Paramatma to Atma to Jivatma. So here, Lord Shiva tells, he says it is the in fact, Atma. When a person now is experiencing Atma purity, that person is not affected by joy or sorrow, knowledge or ignorance, egoism or pride. That person remains in a pure state. And this is where the yogis and the great Mahatmas and the saints and sages, this is where they are. This is where they are. Friends, we have to go back up. We have to go back up. Not only in a material way. We have to go back up in a spiritual way, where we allow nothing to affect us internally. Brothers and sisters, Jivatma will be affected by joy and sorrow. Isn't it? Isn't it? All of us are affected by joy and sorrow. True or false? When something exciting happens, don't you become excited? And when something bad happens, don't you become sad? And when we are experiencing knowledge and ignorance, we also have a rocking like this. Knowledge, ignorance, knowledge, ignorance, knowledge, ignorance. Like that. Friends, egoism and pride. Egoism is what? Egoism is where we have false pride. Egoism is where we think and believe that, you know what? I am doing everything. I am this. I am that. I am the next. I. As ego speaking. I am Abhedanand. I can sing. I am a teacher. I am a lecturer. I am a doctor. And everybody has some attributes to go with it. Isn't it? I am an engineer. I have my PhD. What's the meaning of PhD? You all know what's the meaning of PhD? Permanent head damage. Just joking, huh? But when the ego becomes caught up in that, then I feel as though I am this, I am that, I am the next, I. Friends, that very said I will become the cause of us to cry. Because we are depending on that for our happiness, we are depending on that for our joy, and as a result of that, all that we depend on will not last forever. I want you to understand that, my friends, and let us all understand that. Whatever we depend on for our happiness in this world will not last forever. Therefore, it is guaranteed we are going to become sad. So imagine you are in a boat and the boat shut down in the sea. Om Namah Shivaya. And when the boat shut down in the sea, you can't get a jump start. And while you are waiting for help, imagine the boat starts rocking like this because the tide starts rising. And when the boat starts rocking, the boat rocks for 5 minutes, the boat rocks for 10 minutes, the wave starts rising even higher, and the boat continues rocking for 1 hour. What will happen to you? Huh? You are going to become seasick. The stomach is going to get upset. And when the stomach gets upset, my friends, you better have gravel. Or the second thing you can do, what? If you don't have gravel and the boat rocking, what do? Simple thing, jump out the boat. Nothing complicated in that. That's the only way to stop the stomach from feeling upset. Jump out. But if you jump out, you better know to swim or have on a life jacket. My friends, since we don't want to jump out, we have to take gravel. Brothers and sisters, if when the boat is rocking, our stomach feels sick, imagine when the mind is constantly rocking. Joy, sorrow, knowledge, ignorance, ego, false pride. And like that, the mind is constantly rocking. How do we expect to be peaceful? How do we expect to stay balanced and cross the hurdles of life with right thinking ability? Friends, Bhagwan Shiva tells Mother Parvati, he says, those who are able to experience this rise in their life, they are experiencing Sri Ram. Jai Bhagwan. Those who are able to rise beyond the moods of their mind, those individuals are experiencing Sri Ram. श्री रामचंद्र जी को तो व्यापक ब्रह्म, परम आनंद रूप, परात्पर ईश्वर और पुराण पुरुष हैं। ये सारा संसार जानता है। ओ देवी पार्वती, the entire world knows the highest Lord and the most ancient being, that supreme Paramatma who is all pervading, who is Brahma, who is the supreme, who is Brahman, from who the entire creation came into existence. He is supreme bliss personified, O Parvati. To that Sri Ram, my humble salutations. Brothers and sisters, you see, to experience this bliss and to experience this Ram, what we have to do is rise beyond the moods of the mind. What makes us suffer is the mood of the mind, you know. This knowledge is called Brahma Vidya. Didi? This knowledge is called Brahma Vidya. And friends, Brahma Vidya means we are trying to understand, in fact, the knowledge of understanding how we operate, the knowledge of understanding how my mind operates, the knowledge to understand how my intellect operates. And when I understand how I operate, then I can get the best out of me. Isn't it? When I understand how I operate as a human being, with my body, with my mind, with my intellect, then I am going to get the best out of me. If you have a car and you don't know the features of the car, how can you get the best out of the car? You have a car and the car has a button. When you press it, the car says sports mode. And when the car goes on sports mode now, the car is ready for a different kind of driving. And then you have sports mode plus. So when you press sport mode plus, this car is ready for racing. Don't let the police catch you. Don't break the speed limit. So even though you have the different modes on the car, sport mode plus, you can't break the law of the road because you're going to get $1,000 ticket or more. And in the same way, my friends, when we understand how we operate and how the Lord incarnates in our lives, this knowledge will help us to stabilize ourselves. Brothers and sisters, if a car is being driven and the alignment is out, the car will not function properly. If you are driving a vehicle and the camber is out, the vehicle will not function properly. If you are driving a vehicle and the engine is not serviced properly, you cannot reach where you are going. How do we expect to reach where we are going if the vehicle of our mind and body is not serviced properly? If our alignment is out, you know, when a car, by Ricky, when the alignment out, what has happened? Run off the road, man. Tire will start to cut, isn't it? The tire will start to cut and the inside will cut or the outside will cut. It all depends on how the alignment is. And when the tire is burnt out, in less than a month, brand new tire finish because alignment is out. Friends, in less than no time, our life is finished when our alignment of thinking right is out. Scriptures are meant to teach us how to live. Scriptures are meant to teach us how to function. Scriptures are meant to teach us how to carry about ourselves. Scriptures are meant because Bhagwan Shiva is telling Mother Parvati here, this is the Sri Ram that I pray to. This is the Sri Ram I bow to. This is the Sri Ram who is the Lord of my life. And he goes on to say in a beautiful doha as follows. प्रसिद्ध प्रकाश गिनी प्रगत परावरनाथ ओ रामा प्रगत परावरनाथ रघुकुलमति मम स्वामी सोई कहीं शिव गाये हो मात सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम नाथ मम संकट हरो हरि। जो पुराण पुरुष प्रसिद्ध है प्रकाश के केश कोश है सब रूप में प्रगत तथा दोनों विभूतियों के अथवा जगत के स्वामी हैं वे ही रघुकुल मणि श्री रामचंद्र जी मेरे स्वामी हैं। रघुकुल मणि, this jewel of the Raghukul dynasty, O Parvati Devi is, O Sati Devi is the Lord of my heart. Friends, what is Lord Shiva saying? He is saying that this Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Shri Ram is जो पुराण पुरुष प्रसिद्ध है प्रकाश के कोश है. He is known as the Spirit. Remember the child said last night? We now reach what the child said last night. He is known as the Spirit. But not spirit in a bad way. Please don't think some ghost or something. Spirit meaning the Atma, the soul. Like in Christianity, they will talk about the Holy Spirit. So here, Bhagwan Shiva says, जो पुराण पुरुष प्रसिद्ध है प्रकाश के कोश है सब रूपों के प्रगत तथा दोनों विभूतियों के अथवा जगत में स्वामी हैं. This Lord is the Lord of my heart, O Devi. He is the light that manifests in all forms and is the Lord of life as well as of matter. So, the Lord of life and the Lord of matter, even matter, the inert objects becomes alive by His blessing. The inert object becomes as if conscious by His grace and divine blessing. Now, please be attentive. Listen to what he says here. सब रूपों में प्रगत तथा दोनों विभूतियों के अथवा जगत स्वामी है. That everything in this world becomes enlivened by His grace and blessing. This is why, friends, you see when you offer your jal to Suraj Narayan Swami, a lota jal, or let us say for an example, you bow to the earth, Mother Earth. You know, it's a Hindu custom, the Hindu practice. When you bow to when you get up in the morning, you bow to the earth 3 times. As soon as you come off your bed, you bow to Dharti Mata. Ajan, Aji, and Nana, Nani, and they used to do that. You do that? Very good. Some of us, we forget. We have to have a busy day. We have to rush out of the bed. We have to run to the bathroom and get to the office, etc., to school, whatever. So we forget. But my friends, even the earth is the conscious principle of the Lord or the Divine Mother. So we bow. And here he is saying, inert objects and life itself becomes alive by His grace, by His blessing, by His, what you call, power, by His Shakti. So everything is alive. In other words, every single thing is alive. Do you all believe that? Angad? Don't believe that? Huh? Okay, hold back for that now. You can tell me afterwards. Friends, when it is said every single thing is alive, it means every single thing is permeated with consciousness. Believe it or not. And here in this Balkand, Doha number 116, Lord Shiva is telling that even what appears to be unconscious is really conscious. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat Tena tyaktena bunjitaha magradakasya swidanam. The Ishavasya Upanishad says in the very first verse that Isha pervades everything in this world. Isha or Ishwar means God. He pervades every single thing in this world. In other words, friends, what the Shruti Mata and what the scriptures are trying to bring to our mind, that we have to connect with that pure consciousness wherever we are. And that is why even when you consecrate a murti and you put a murti in your home, you think that murti is not alive? You all remember on the 21st of September 1995 what happened? You all remember in the world when Bhagwan Ganesh started drinking milk? I was in India that time. All the milk in Mumbai finished. Some people's home were blessed. Friends, people scientifically, they try to disapprove it. They tried their endeavor best to say it is some false thing, or maybe somebody put a pump somewhere. And you know, when miracles happen in Hinduism, the world tried to shoot it down. When a miracle happens in Hinduism, the world will try to shoot it down. If it happens in other religion, no problem. The Hindus will glad and willingly accept it. But when it happens in Hinduism, on the 21st of September 1995, a day that you must never forget, friends, when Bhagwan Ganesh accepted milk, a stone accepting milk? How can that be possible? That is what Lord Shiva is saying here. Because of the presence of the consciousness, the life force, even in what appears to be unreal, and even what appears to be as if a stone, that has consciousness in it. And that consciousness will accept the love of the devotees. And therefore, when we go to the Shiva Lingam and we pray to Bhagwan Shiva, you think you're praying to a stone? Friends, how can we believe that we are praying to a stone when the stone, the murti at Patiram Trace Mandir is growing before our eyes? In this part of the world, how can we not believe that there is some form of life energy and some form of what you call divinity present even in the Shiva Lingam? I know of many people who goes to the Patiram Trace Mandir and miracles happen in their life. Miracles happen. Brothers and sisters, I'm not saying it doesn't happen in other religion. It will happen in all religion. But you know what is most important? Not religion. Not which religion it happens in. What is important is it happens. But you know, we had a little ego thing, you know. Let me go some local language now. You know where's the ego thing? When something happened in Hinduism, hey, Hinduism better than your religion. When it happened in Christianity, hey, Christianity better than your religion. When it happened in Islam, Islam better than yours. And that is what we are fighting. We're fighting to be better. And that is what the ego does. Friends, we are prepared to follow religion. We are not following spirituality. Spirituality is universal. Religion is narrow. My religion can't be better than yours. And your religion can never be better than mine. Because I am not a religious person, I am a spiritual person. And that is what we should be. And this is what Lord Shiva is telling in terms of the philosophy of this Doha. Hey, my Shri Ram is both in the inert and the inert, rather, what you call, animate and inanimate. The inert objects, even that which appears to be not alive, the Lord is in. But not everybody can see that. Not everybody will believe that. And after I am finished here tonight, people will say, Baba talk something that I don't believe, and it is not right. Friends, the cloud will always come and cloud the vision of the sky. You don't have to believe, but you don't have to doubt also. You don't have to believe, but you don't have to doubt. Everything in this world has the power of that consciousness. And so, Lord Shiva is speaking in terms of this philosophy. He is speaking in terms of this, what you call, universal knowledge that we can experience wherever we go. Friends, if we don't understand it in this life, you know what will happen? If we do not experience what Lord Shiva is talking about here tonight, friends. That there is consciousness in every single object of this world. There is divinity in everything. Baba, are you for real? Divinity in everything? Divinity even in the not so nice people? Every day you're reading on the newspapers, so many bad things happening. Even those people have divinity in them? Yes, they have divinity, but their divinity is clouded with ignorance. And when it is clouded, it is there, but their action proves differently. And so, friends, Lord Shiva is saying here that to that Maryada Purushottam aisa kahakar Shivji ne usko mastak navaya. Having said what he said, immediately he bowed his head with reverence to Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram. And you know what? Lord Shiva is a switch on, a switch off. When he's talking about Sri Ram, suddenly he switches off. When Sri Ram enters the mind and he just slips back into meditation. And all he is seeing is Sri Ram and Sri Ram and Sri Ram. The mind comes to one single spot that is called Chitta Ekagrata. In speaking of the Lord, the mind now becomes in oneness with God and stop running. That is meditation. When now American doing more meditation than Trinidadian, ask Carol and Gail. Carol and Gail going back tonight, back to New York. America is doing more meditation than Indians and Hindus, But you see, when they start to do it, then but I know about that thing, man. I hear that all my life. Let me try it. See, when the Americans do it, I give an example one time, I was in India, Pritam, in 2015 with my Guruji. And in the Rishikesh area, a bus came from, I think, either China or Japan. It was Chinese people. A busload of 62 people came. And they all came out and they went inside the ashram. And I happened to catch up with one of them. I said, you speak English? He said, yes. I said, why are you all here? He said, we came here to do yoga and meditation on the banks of the Ganga. They came to do yoga and meditation on the banks of the Ganga. My friends, Lord Shiva, thousands and thousands of years ago, before now, has been talking about this. My dear devotees, as Hindus, this is our knowledge. This is our sadhana. This is our practice. And if we don't do it, and other people take it and do it, then don't say they're being pretenders. Because, as a matter of fact, this is not, I should rephrase what I just said. This is not our knowledge, Bhaiya Krish. This is universal knowledge. This is everybody's knowledge. Because Lord Shiva never says this is for Hindus only. This is for anyone who wants to practice. And a time will come in the world, you will see, where the Western world will be practicing more yoga and more meditation and more japa than even India itself. You will see. Friends, so saying, Lord Shiva, aisa kahakar Shivji ne usko mastaka navaya. He bowed his head. And when he prostrated to Bhagwan Sri Ram mentally, he went on in that meditation for a long while before he would even speak again. Brothers and sisters, tonight, I want to ask you, between tonight and tomorrow, regardless of whatever religion or race you are, find 10 minutes and calm yourself. In local language, in them young boys' language, they say, calm yourself, boy. Calm yourself. That calm yourself means meditation. Take 10 minutes tonight and 10 minutes tomorrow and calm yourself. And in that meditation, you neutralize yourself. In that neutralized state, you rise from Jivatma back to Atma. That is the purest state that we can become in this world.